everyone, and welcome back to the Titan series. Unfortunate due to a few technical issues and a few unavailability issues, I was supposed to have two analysts joining me, but instead I'm here completely alone. So I'll just quickly run you through what we have today. First of all, welcome back to Titan series. We're still in the group stages. We have a few very important weighted matches coming up. And the first one is going to be WhiteTigerZ, a German team, against Team 82. Both of them went through the qualifiers. And then the following team will be IAS, and they're going to play against Vega, catching up with some old standings in Group B. They were a little behind on schedule. All right, but nonetheless, even without analyst, I'll quickly run you through the map bans. We'll be going to Oregon. Map bans went roughly as follows. WTC, so WhiteTigerZ, they took out Theme, Border, Chalet, and Sky. And 82 took out Villa, Bank, Club, and Cafe. So Oregon, very default map choice. Club was open until late, if I remember correctly. But other than that, nothing special between these two teams. They're both toward the bottom of the scoreboard in Group A, so it's very important to stave off elimination if they want to have a chance. They're in the same group as BTD and TT9, so they're gonna have they're gonna need every point that they can get. So overtime is not gonna be favorable for either of these. But without further ado, I'm not sure if the players are ready. If I can get production on my ear. So just waiting on the players to ready up so that we can get into the game. And in the meantime, I think I could consider the players. Maybe I mean everybody knows Levo. That's the only thing that I would want to talk about. But actually, I'll ask the casters a question. I'll throw it to the casters. Who do you guys want to watch? That's my question leading into the game. And as soon as you get into map bans, please take it away. But which player specifically do you want to look at?
I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing how this game unfolds. It's going to be an important one for WhiteTigerZ to try and consolidate that win, right? Yeah, like you mentioned, these two teams, they're the two teams at the bottom of their group, but this is the game in hand, right? We already saw Barney's Trusted Dinosaurs take on TT9 earlier in the week, and with the top two teams from each group going through, the win for Barney's Trusted Dinosaurs against Team 82 on their last playday, you really need to be grabbing the full 3 points from this matchup, especially considering the final game for both WhiteTigerZ and Barney's Trusted Dinosaurs is against each other. That's going to be the big game. And I mean, you're talking individual players on the side of WhiteTigerZ. I think there's been a little bit of excitement. Critical, obviously, having a pretty good performance in the last game that they played, and generally the whole squad of WhiteTigerZ really showing up in their first game against TT9. I mean, they pushed it to overtime, Leo.
Yeah, I mean, I've taken a break from the game for like a year, so I don't really know either of these teams. I do know White Tigers though, and I know Evolution, so I'm definitely looking forward to see this player play. I remember he used to be a really good player back in the day, like years back when I used to play. So let's see if he's still as crazy as a fragger as he used to be.
And for Team 82, right, getting the full points away from this game, giving themselves some sort of chance if they want to make it out the group, I mean, I think it's pretty dire because it would require a very strong performance, a win against TT9 on the final playdate. If they want to come out, there's still a chance they finish off the group with the full 6 points. Things are just a little bit difficult after that first loss, but you never know. You never know how things pan out. The 7-0 obviously indicating potentially the weaker team in the group. But there's always time for that to change. And on a map like Oregon, right, there's lots of opportunities for the weaker team to just kind of edge out in some of these positions, gain that advantage. And we're seeing that initially in the ban phase. Taking that Ying off the table just kind of reduces the chaos of the game.
Right, Golo. So just update me a bit here. Who do you think is the favorite really on this map?
I think you've got to give it to WhiteTigerZ. Just a strong opening game, an 8-6 loss to TT9 immediately just puts them in a high position for me. You then see Barney's Trusted Dinosaurs 7-0 win over 82, who then, Barney's Trusted Dinosaurs had another overtime loss, an 8-7 loss to TT9. So both Barney's Trusted Dinosaurs and WhiteTigerZ having strong games against T1 competition. Maybe Team 82 just had a slow opening start, but it's definitely niggling at the back of my mind just a little bit. As the final 2 bans, you see that Clash taken away, and also the Fenrir, who we've seen a little bit here and there. TT9 running it on their Oregon defense here against WhiteTigerZ. WhiteTigerZ not so frequently picking it up when they moved onto the defensive end here, but it's still one of those operators where I think teams are really trying to find the way that it fits into the lineup, and you see a lot of talk on Twitter about just the ability to gain that information with having those gadgets just deployed around that can really
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Looks great for WhiteTigerZ. I mean, according to what you say. Also, they start on defense, and I remember Oregon was really competitive here. I don't know if it's still the case, but I mean, we're gonna see how it goes.
Immediately starting off in kitchen dining is a little bit different one, especially as we've kind of seen teams lean away meeting the sort of site that gets picked off, has that tertiary option a little bit more. I think, you know, you used to see this back before some of the earlier days of Habana, and I think since that rework came through and teams sort of figured out how to quickly get access to the main parts of the site, it can be a little bit of a struggling one, but you still see it come up. We saw these attacks coming in towards the meeting side before with opportunities to really catch teams off guard, and I mean, if WhiteTigerZ can able to sort of slip around the back of Team 82, as it does look like they're lining up more towards the main lobby side of things, there's good opportunities for them here to really catch the attack off guard.
Yeah, it looks like they're gonna go for main lobby push here. I mean, I remember this push was really popular back when they reworked the map, but also people used to take it from Big Tower a lot. It looks like they're gonna go for both here, actually. Just gonna go on top of the roof here and just try and make sure and clear Big Tower and the entire main lobby as well.
Well, they got Kiz on that thermite, right, who can obviously place the exothermic charge on the floor to get the main breach from small tower into dining room open. And that's a great way to start your attack. You give yourself that early access, as they are looking for a little bit of a gunfight here, trying to get aggressive replay. Just going to invest the first of those nades over towards White Stairs, but player kind of backing away a little bit, not going to eat any damage from it, but is going to have to be a little bit more careful for Levo to push back up with the attack moving in. But Robbie just noticing the gap in showers, just plunging straight on in. They don't even check. P13 walks straight into the line of sight, takes him down. They get that first pick, a strong foothold initiated, but Uzi coming in from behind gets traded out though. Eddie just doing a good job of keeping the flank. Shallow corridor's vulnerable, but not for too long. Immediately picking up the position as Shalom just makes sure this round does not slip out of their hands. Critical now trying to walk down towards Showers. The plant is looking to try and be deployed. The Thermite caught off by the Razor Blue, but Critical looks the wrong way. Still comfortable control of the site for Team 82, as Krugi now has to try and find 3 remaining defenders from this attack. A wonderful lineup there. Just catches the head of Shalom, takes the Yana away. Now looking to push further down, but Robbie in the corner of dining, able to catch him on the cross. A very quick attacking round.
I think the highlight there for me was definitely Robbie just charging into bathroom like that, you know, just no fear at all, and just killing the first guy there. I think that definitely opened up the round, and it really helped them with getting that win.
Yeah, and I think if you can just get that foothold, right, you talked about it. What happens when you start to push in from behind? You're looking at main lobby, and by having presence at different points of the map, you could see the defense from WhiteTigerZ looking just a little bit stretched thin. And to come off of the back of that round where you have a very obvious opening abused by the attack, returning to the same bomb site, it's not either of the primaries for this map. You're not going basement, you're not going up dorms. I'm intrigued to see what the adjustment is here from WhiteTigerZ, because we didn't get to see what happens when you don't lose that shower early. So keeping someone in that position, we saw P13 wandering around the site a little bit, in kitchen, not sure if they need to move towards green to reinforce players towards meeting, or the players above them on that extended roam. You didn't see anyone inside of dining or shower. That needs to be fixed up. You can't have that happen again.
Golo. I mean, the strat looks very similar to me, so I guess the change is going to be gameplay-wise. I think the Frost should be a little bit more aware here. He was really... he didn't look aware when Robbie just pushed in the bathroom right there, and he kind of took that gunfight for free, if you ask me, and it really gave them the opening on that round. So they need to be aware that WhiteTigerZ here, sorry, that Team 82 here is really pushing from all over the map. They're pushing main lobby, and they're also taking big tower as well at the same time. So just awareness at this point, and it looks like they're just going to go for the same strat. So it looks like they believe in it.
Yeah, we saw that Razor Blue being thrown down by P13 against the breach once again, and right, the reasoning for that is Kiz on this Thermite, he puts the charge on the floor above inside of small dorms to open up the wall. it's not going to hit the bottom part of it. The explosion isn't going to catch off the Razor Bloom. And that's how Kiz ended up dying in the last round, right? You jump over the breach, you go through that plant down, the Razor Bloom starts popping off, you're getting shot at from inside a kitchen. You have to find somewhere to move, and if you get caught on that vault yet again, you be caught off by the Razor Bloom. So nice little understanding of how the attack are going to approach the breach and then deploying it to the Razor to catch them off guard.
Oh, but Shalom is gonna get the opening pick here. That's gonna be huge because no trade on the horizon here. 5v4 for Team 82, and okay, Levo is gonna take Shalom back here. 4v4, but they do have big tower control. Levo is gonna get one more. Where is this action coming from?
Well, it's all the Solace, just kind of playing around White Stairs, getting a little bit aggressive up above, just trying to deny any sort of real entry point. Now looking to support the position inside of shower corridor by giving that access to look through the showers, to watch through the headlight holes. The flashbang's coming through, but there's not enough to really work from here, despite that replay able to get the pick off the critical to Yoluka Jaeger, who was injured earlier on in the round. But Uzi just continuing to play behind the deployable shield, and no lack of information or utility being used to dislodge this position. After the flashbang, it's going to give a free option for the Aruni to walk down the corridor, clean up the rest of the attack for a double kill, and that's the adjustment we needed to see from WhiteTigerZ, understanding where the attack was coming through, not getting spread too thinly, and just being in the right place at the right time, and Uzi for the triple kill as well to top it all off.
Yeah, it definitely looks like WhiteTigerZ was really aware this time that the attack is actually coming from Big Tower. But I'm not sure if Team 82 really tried to take main lobby as they tried before, you know? It doesn't look like the distraction was as effective. Now, I'm not sure if it's just WhiteTigerZ really being more aware, because I'm sure that's the case, but maybe it's also Team 82 not really adjusting accordingly, not realizing that they're being pressured towards Big Tower.
Now they are going to move up to the top floor though, Leo, and you get the win downstairs on the unconventional site. Team 82 do get a round out of that in exchange. It's interesting to me now because we're in round 3, we're at the end of the first half, right? And normally with the way the fight blocks work, you don't get to play it for 2 rounds after you win it, you then come back to it on the 3rd. So Basement not being touched in the opening 3 rounds means that if they go to it, say next round and win, it's not going to be another option for them to play it twice this half. And cutting yourself out of an access to a site like Basement could be a little bit detrimental here. I'm interested on your thoughts here. What do you think goes into this from the side of WhiteTigerZ? Why are they avoiding it?
Reloading.
I mean, I'm not sure. I'm really out of the meta right now, but for me, going to the sides that are not as conventional is always gonna be something you want to do if you want to throw your opponent off guard and make sure that you're doing something that they don't always practice for. Looks like Eddie is gonna get the first kill here, and he looks pretty comfortable doing it. It doesn't look like the defense was aware of him being inside armory here, so it looks like Team 82 here, they're kind of surprising WhiteTigerZ.
Yeah, the use of that flashbang, forcing Critical to take a step back, and then, like you mentioned, disguising that repel in. You can see the Jaeger had absolutely no clue, he was waiting. Burning out the first of the Saria gates, trying to get access towards that breach as Eddie, he is the demon. He's just continuing to walk forwards and take the heads of this defense as Levo finally finding one back for his team. With the Saria gates burned out, they have that access into walk-in, and the rotation made by the defense, made by WhiteTigerZ, gives them an option to challenge on towards the master bedroom doorway, but with the control of the trophy already lost so early into the round, this doesn't exactly have the same sort of staying power they really want it to.
No, definitely two big kills from Eddie the Demon right there in Armory. Playing well, and oh my god, another one from Shalom right there, and that's so much pressure from Armory side. When you're playing like the flank from Levo, he's gonna get a double kill, then he's gonna get traded back. 2v1 here. It's Kiz and Replay versus the Mute, so we're gonna see how it goes. There's still 1 minute on the clock, and it looks like they're gonna slow it down and take it a bit slower.
Use a little bit of time to gather some information, burn away at these rear gates. If P13 can entice them into this corner, if they walk up to the shotgun, the breach being made, and well, there's the drone coming through, so they'll know the Mute is flying around the corner. Gonna now onto the breach that has been made. Spots the arm of the Flores and collects the kill onto replay. Kiz knows the mute is in pit, has access into sight now through the rotation, but doesn't quite know the angle that P13 is going to go for here. SMG-11 in hand, looking to engage at the slightly longer range, but just waiting for the ace to extend themselves because they know the time is on their side. 20 seconds left in the round. In the doorway, the previous try giving himself away, but looking at the wrong spot. Chose incorrectly, goes through the hole made by the attack to secure another round for the WhiteTigerZ. P13 closing up and holding on in the 1 versus 2.
Beautiful 1v2 for P13. Beautiful isolations of the gunfights, really choosing his timings correctly, and really knowing when to peek and what to peek at what time. That was great.
And also, just more importantly, it's losing this position so early on for the defense. As an attackers, you've removed the trophy. They can no longer play aggressively off the master breach. They're trying to contest you from pit with their head-high holes, but now they don't have the trophy to play behind. The shield's gone already. That position becomes a lot more exposable. Yet still, they're not watching flanks. And it's Levo coming up on that alibi, just being a nuisance, getting that double kill to really drag things back. They went from the 2v4 to a 1v2, and I mean, ultimately, you've got to be able to hold on in these situations, losing out like that, and then not pushing together. That was the criminal offense for me in that position. A little bit of information comes through. You spot out where Mute is, but now you're not acting off of that together. You're giving Mute enough time to find a new angle to pick for 1v1s. You can't give isolated gunfights when you're trying to prevent a clutch from occurring.
Yeah, I think that flank really helped. Obviously, it helped the Mute closing around, because that 1v2 would have been way harder if it was a 1v3, right? But also, I understand why they couldn't hold the flank at that point, because, you know, as a player, you have so many jobs for so many different players at the same time, and sometimes you just don't have the time, or you don't catch the correct timing to watch the flank. And even if it's your job to watch the flank at that time, if you were supposed to do something else, if it's not communicated properly, then you're just gonna miss the flank by half a second or 1 second, and that's all it takes.
Team 82 now lining up to attack into the basement in round number 4. So if WhiteTigerZ win here, it'll be the only time they get to play it. Already have access to Big Tower, looking to try and clear out this roam on the middle floor, and they're going to open up with the kill onto Levo, so you remove this big roaming presence that they really struggled to deal with in the last round. That massively helped out for WhiteTigerZ, plus with the trophy on board, hacking those cameras always going to be of a little bit of benefit to the attack. Not too much information deployed out by the defense, so nothing special you're going to be able to take away. But it certainly is going to help you just keep a little bit of tabs on the rest of the map. Still, this Warden looking to maybe get a little bit aggressive over by the back staircase, but Team 82, they're playing it patient here, Leo. They're not going to rush into anything too rashly.
Of course, they have the 5v4, and I don't know if you noticed, but they have the 5v4 advantage early in the round very often on these attacks. So we're gonna see how it goes this time, but usually it does give them the advantage, just that they're really struggling with closing it out, you know? Just like in that situation with that 1v2 against the Mute. So they're gonna slow it down, they're gonna play it smart here, so we're gonna see how it goes for them. They do have the top control, and they're gonna try and take the blue control as well, but the Mute, again, P13 is gonna take replay off the map here, and he's gonna make it a 4v4 in 1 minute on the clock here. It looks like I'm leaning towards the defense right now.
Yeah, it is interesting seeing Smoke still in these lineups. I mean, this is the first time we've seen it being brought by WhiteTigerZ for that basement, wanting to get the value out of those toxic babes, despite losing access to that deployable shield. So relying on the Warden to be able to share that with you. Instead, taking a much more aggressive stance inside of the tunnel, and it's really paying off for them here. Kiz trying to use the flashbangs to give an opportunity to drop down the staircase, but with Crystal on this Warden, a bit of damage going the way into Shalom, who will immediately run into the second spray. Shot down by Kiz on the hatch, though, as this defense starting to overextend, feeling too comfortable in their positions. Control of Elbow lost out now, and you can see his army trying to keep on, but Uzi, a fantastic shot to keep the team in the round. A 2 versus 2 situation. They know there's one on Elbow, which Krieger is able to win out against. He's got to not challenge the long angle. 10 seconds for Kiz to walk on through. The Vulcan fire dissipating, giving the opportunity opportunity with the Bearing 9 high fire rate weapon, looking for the first and able to get it, but Uzi playing in the corridor, the information being shared by WhiteTigerZ just too good, and they're going to close it out with a nice little trade.
It definitely looks like Team 82 know what they're doing, and they're doing everything correctly. They're taking the map control, and they even managed to get the opening picks most of the time. But it looks like when it comes down to it, to the actual executing the gunfights, it looks like WhiteTigerZ is just winning them outright.
Is this a tactical timeout being employed here? Or is this a technical timeout being employed here? Either way, WhiteTigerZ needing a little bit of a breather. 3 rounds put back to back for them, so despite a little bit of a stumble in the early round, they have found their way back into this, right? And now looking like a much more commanding presence. Leo, you said it yourself, they have lost a couple early picks in these rounds, but somehow always able to grab that advantage back, and especially in the late seconds of these rounds, very calm under pressure.
To the gunfights, it just looks like they're hitting the right shots at the correct time, and it looks like everything is going their way when it comes down to the execute. For me, I think 82 needs to be a bit more confident, a bit faster when they're taking the map control, and maybe their actual mistake and the reason for the demise is actually the fact that they're taking it a bit too slow, if you know what I mean. Like, they're getting the early pick, and then they're playing it a bit too calm, too calculated. Sometimes they just need to push the team and make the decision, even if it's not always the right decision, and just go for it.
So the confirmation of that being a tactical timeout. And now that we've played the last 2 rounds, you have the top floor, dorms locked off, basement locked off. They could have gone back to Diamond, but instead altering things a touch. P13 grabbing this Echo because it's the meeting site instead, and you want to have a little bit of information access, especially to try and interrupt some of the going on behind the stage if that take is coming in from the big tower. And with the adjustments coming in from the attack, with that 6-pick feature, you're seeing Replay grabbing that Oso, which really is going to help them at just putting and holding these longer lines of sight. I'd be expecting the roam to extend upstairs, try and hold onto a bit of this attic space, but with Uzi on this Thunderbird, there's going to be a little bit more freedom for WhiteTigerZ to take early aggressive stances right into their attackers' faces.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to change sides here to try and confuse Team 82. You know, not give them too much information what they're gonna play and how they're gonna play it. They don't want to go back to the same sites that they already played before. They want to show them something new. They want to surprise them a little bit here, and we'll see how it goes. Until now, it went great for them, and if they're able to get this one more round, then I think they're gonna be very confident moving into the next one.
Using the deployable shield quite far forward to try and keep the pressure up on the attack as they're walking through. You'll see Critical with the M870 on that Thorn. That's the operator that they've sort of designated for their reconstruction on this defense. As you can see, no one else having access to that contact. Not too many impacts being shared around. You want to try and keep some control over this attic hatch because it gives you that angle down towards stage where so many attacking teams will love to be putting down that diffuser. The drone's coming through pretty early on, spotting out some ADSs here to try and shore up Krugi's position and make sure it doesn't get naded out too cheaply. You don't want to give up that position so easily, right?
Definitely not. I mean, attic is so important in this situation. I mean, it's right above the bomb site, and it gives you so many angles. So if they're going to be able to take this attic control, as 82 did take a lot of map control before. Oh, wait, what? They're just going to run out and get 2 kills like that. Kid's going to trade, and Robbie is going to get another one to make it a 3v3, but this is so hectic right now.
Yeah, not able to catch the Solace on the cross, and we've seen what Levo has been able to do with this game so far. The hatch being dropped to give P13 a rotation option. Critical also down in the basement, so temporarily a little bit of lacking presence inside of the site itself. As you can see, Kiz here still debating when is it going to be safe to move in for that plant. Control of attic above now comfortably in the hands of Team 82. They have 50 seconds still to play with. Uzi hiding away inside of dorms, so still not detected by drones, gives the opportunity to creep up onto Robbie if they lose that concentration. but for the time being, very happy to wait patiently, continue to let this clock tick, holding this tight angle with the shotgun, gonna bait in the challenge. Kiz doesn't find any damage, dropped to 1 HP. Thorn still holding on for dear life, as Replay now has to consider what's going on, as that Thorn has found one. The Thunderbird finds a second, pushing tight against the Thorn. The shotgun in hand just takes you down in a single blow, Leo. And WhiteTigerZ, they're just sweeping through now, that control in their hands. Team 82 have lost their grip on this game, and the lead is running away from them.
Yeah, I really thought 82 has it when, you know, when they were actually actively checking the flank this time. And no, it looks like Critical is just gonna win it outright with the shotgun. Doesn't matter what they're holding in their hands, they're just gonna hit the shot, and it looks like they're gonna win out the gunfight.
Well, and now with that, again, you get another one of these off-sites. You're playing in this way where Team 82 can't quite punish you for it. Yeah, Robbie gets that active control. They have the Talon 8 looking down it, and eventually do find the pick onto Krugi, who was that Jaeger playing pit. But it still didn't really matter. I really am liking the way that WhiteTigerZ are playing off each other. They're giving and sharing the information that they need to set each other up for success. P13 recognizing in the position he's in as the Echo with the time that's remaining in the round, right? 50 seconds, 40 seconds. He wants out. He doesn't want to be in so far forward, but you can't walk backwards through the site safely. So you have the Thorn, he's already underneath, already trying to apply that pressure to a flank. Back up, find a new angle, open up the hatch, give yourself the rotation option, and then get back to position in such quick time that you're not losing anything out for it. And part of that is Team 82, who showed the ability to jump the gun, to when a gap is open, just plunge fully into it, kind of missing it in that last round.
Yeah, WhiteTigerZ for me is just showing a lot of confidence and just great communication here. Their timings are great and they're winning out their gunfights. I mean, when all of this works for you, you don't really need anything else. It doesn't really matter what shot you're on or anything like that. You're just gonna win out the rounds, especially when 82 is just gonna give you so much space to work with here. They're not gonna pressure you too much. They're just gonna do everything by the book. They're not gonna do anything that's like not unconventional. So you're not gonna be thrown off your guard, right? And that gives you so much space to be confident and just run around and do whatever you want.
Ready Eddie inside of Armory once again, this time not able to pick up an early kill, so this pressure inside of Trophy is going to have to be dealt with a little bit more directly. The sun's coming through to try and burn out the gates. Doesn't matter, looks like he's just going to be able to walk up to the corner of Armory and get the kill anyway. Levo on the flank shuts down the player designated to stop him from doing just that, and escape as well. The run out from Critical getting a lot of damage on Kiz on that ace, and with Krugi just keeping up the pressure from Pit, they find the pick onto Replay, who consistently on this Flores just hasn't been able to get the utility value that they want, and Krugi's just going to go on for a double kill. We're half the round in, there's only 2 attackers left. One of them is on their last lifeline already, Leo. WhiteTigerZ poised to take this final round, and Critical all but ensuring it.
Yeah, what do you think Team 82 needs to do differently here in order to win these rounds? Because it looks like they just lost it until now. I mean, the first round looked good, the second round looked good as well, but then after they lost at 1v2, it just looked like... It looks like they're kind of not in it anymore. And every round that they lose, it just looks, you know, worse and worse. I mean, losing your nerve like this, even though you're 4-1 down, is not the answer.
Well, it's more than one thing, if we're being honest right now. You'll know this. It's never just one thing that goes wrong for a team to be 5-1 down at half. But the biggest thing, if I had to choose one, it would just be making sure that we're doing things together. We are slowing down a little bit. I feel like they're over eager to take gunfights that they really don't need to be taking. And that's leading to situations where Replay on this Flores, for example, in the last round, he's not given an opportunity to get those Rotera drones in, blow up the shield, before they're pushing up. They're not opening the wall that Krugi is playing around to get these picks in towards Armory doorway, in towards Master Bedroom doorway. And it's giving a lot of freedom to WhiteTigerZ to pick and choose when they want to take gunfights, and they're consistently winning them. And ultimately that was the big story. It didn't matter if an advantage would go in Team 82's favor in the early seconds of a round, because at some point, exactly, it happened all the time, but eventually, at some point in the round, there just would be that breakdown from 82, and someone would overstep their mark. They wouldn't be setting in the right spot. They take a step out to the left. They lose their head. And you just start to see these picks slip away from them until WhiteTigerZ were in control again.
We do need to remember that Oregon is defender-sided, right? It still is.
Oh, okay, Oregon is defender-sided. It's not 5-1 defender-sided when 3 of the rounds were played on kitchen sites. There were 2 rounds on kitchen meeting, on kitchen dining, 1 round on kitchen meeting. Like, look, let's be real. Siege's round count in a half is just too low for a map like Oregon to be like comfortably all defender-sided. Attacking teams can win rounds on basement. They can win rounds on dorms. They should be winning more rounds on these meeting and dining kitchen sites. Yes, it's defender-sided. Yes, the defense has the advantage. But you're coming at a 5-1, and but WhiteTigerZ are a stronger team on paper. So it's expected that they'd be coming off well. But when Team 82 have good openings to rounds, I really just want to see them being able to consolidate on those advantages.
Right, and it looks like 82 is definitely going to go for laundry defense here, and again, they're just playing way more textbook here than WhiteTigerZ. WhiteTigerZ is going to... Oh, okay, Uzi's going to trade that off. I'm actually surprised by that. They're 4v4 right now. So a lot of controls, though, for WhiteTigerZ. 2 minutes on the clock, so they have a lot of time to work with here. And it looks like 82 are all down at the basement.
Don't want to get too caught off. Levo taking a little bit of damage, moving down the stairs, but already in this position. And if no one on the defensive end is ready, that mirror window fortunately going to be able to give a little bit of information. As you can see, kids turning around, ready to set up for a crossfire if it's needed. The hatch inside of Lock has been opened on up now as well by P13 on that Havana. So the hatch is starting to be pried away. WhiteTigerZ looking to start their little exit, start their march down, and with how widespread they are, there's a lot for Team 82 to be watching.
Levo's gonna get another kill here. Kiz is gonna trade though, 3v3, 120 on the clock here, and Critical is gonna try to come down from the big tower here. P13 is gonna miss some shots on the legs there. I mean, really understandable, and I don't think that changes much. They still have 1 minute on the clock here, and 82 is really feeling the pressure here. The hatch is open, there's a player on the tower stairs, and they're just waiting for these gunfights right now, so it's really up to WhiteTigerZ right now to choose the correct timing, flash, push down, and just take these gunfights.
The stun coming in, actually hitting Critical, but with P13 just sneaking into sight during it, Impact actually going to find him and take him out of play, and, well, look at that, Team 82 just in these positions, the execute a little bit botched from the side of WhiteTigerZ, and they're ready to punish, just jumping forwards to take the gunfights. Good round from 82 to bounce back there, right? It was a lot of just slow retaliation. They'd take a little bit of damage, they'd find a pick, they'd fall back, sitting in basement. And it felt like WhiteTigerZ were kind of the team that had to make something happen. 82 kind of correcting some mistakes that they showed in their attacking half, right? They weren't going to give up anything too freely, playing quite reserved, and eventually able to win it out.
Definitely, 82 playing it correctly and playing it textbook, not really doing anything out of the ordinary here, and it's working out for them. I mean, at least it did just now, but the Havana self-flashing the Ash, that was definitely unfortunate. I think if that doesn't happen, maybe the round goes the other way, because the Ash definitely could have taken the gunfight there towards the hallway.
Now you're looking at a top floor setup. I like the use of the observation blocker here being dropped down by Robbie, and it will mean that to get information on players or utility inside of Pit, you're really going to have to commit to searching with a drone, and that drone will get shot out before you really reach that point. It encourages a bit of face checking, that or burning out utility, but you have to try and match the utility out some way, right? You got to invest in burn if you get the burn out wrong. But I do like this, you know, it's a nice little way just to slow down WhiteTigerZ.
Yeah, that can definitely prove effective, and WhiteTigerZ, I mean, they're gonna take it from main lobby side. So we're gonna see how it goes for them. Oh, but
Diffuser has been dropped.
82 is just gonna go aggressive out on the balcony. Eddie the Demon is gonna take one. It's gonna be the ace, so that's actually really impactful here. No hard breach anymore for WhiteTigerZ, and a 4v5 this early on. This can prove really lethal for them.
This round definitely still doable for WhiteTigerZ. A bit of damage onto Shalom. They would have wished that they could actually turn that into a kill just to drag back some of that man count and also deny a C4 from being in play. Robbie waits down inside a meeting. Is he detected? Yes, spotted out. Levo knows exactly where to look. And there's the pick you're wanting to grab the balance of the round back again. You mentioned it, the lack of that hard breach could hurt them here. They're going to have to find a more conventional way into the bomb site, i.e. doors or windows, which there are a fair few of to go around. Diffuser's still on that balcony, so someone's going to have to rotate around to go get that, but that's not going to be too much of a problem for them. Now that they know that master bedroom is cleared out, still aware of potential flank. Just going to get some information down below, but with Uzi netting a kill onto the double bed and Levo just standing around, grabbing another onto someone trying to rotate down below. The 4 vs 2 advantage looking comfortable. As I say that, Kiz able to grab one back for his team. So 82 in that 3v2 situation now on the back foot, but we've seen clutches happen so far already, Leo.
And the combo here is the Kiz on the smoke and replay on the mute, so that's definitely a great two great operators that you want to have in these clutch situations, especially with the C4s and the smoke. But the nade is gonna take replay down. It's gonna leave Kiz in this 1v3 with the shotgun and the SMG-11. So we're gonna see how he's gonna be able to deal with that. Nade is gonna go up the roof and nothing is gonna come out of that, but Uzi is gonna clean it up. And I'm actually really surprised that WhiteTigerZ are just able to take these gunfights again, just like on defense, just win them outright without even having the hard breach. You know, they got surprised on the balcony. Ace died really early on, but they still win the round just by winning the gunfights. And if you noticed, it wasn't actually anything like they didn't really push anything crazy, right? They took the gunfights from the windows, from the doorways, and from even far back. And it looks like 82 is just giving out these gunfights for free.
It's another one of these situations where you don't need that hard breach on a map like Oregon on attacking the top floor if you can get enough of these angles opened on up.
Defenders,
I mean,
protect your bombs from being defused.
You saw it
by
there, right?
attackers.
And with just enough opportunities, enough gunfights going in their favor, the spreading of themselves out, they have players underneath and using that to cut off some of these rotations, applying pressure to big window and white. Eventually, Daggers have locked in those defenders, and now Team 82 having to pick another site to go to. They can't go to the basement. They could replay the top floor, but they're choosing not to. And I think I kind of get it. I also kind of enjoy when teams are willing to change up the site, even if it's going off of a more comfortable one. Match point definitely does make this a little
10 seconds left.
WhiteTigerZ is feeling right now because I think they're feeling confident. It's
5
match
seconds
point.
left.
They're 6-2 up, and I mean they're attacking a side that's not one of the hardest ones on this map to attack, I would say.
Yeah, it's... It's going to be interesting. Critical on that Montaigne again. I mean, we've seen Critical on Montaigne this season already. Very proficient on the operator. We've seen him on the Montaigne outside of Titan Series into other Talent League games as well. Always one of these players that when I'm seeing him pick it up, I just know it's going to be well played around by the team. And with a site like this, where you've already got such quick access in towards meeting, it's definitely going to be a little bit nerve-wracking for sure. If they can get this Thermite to open up the breach by Garage, deny the ability to contest it from the hatch, will be a little bit challenging, but Replay bouncing out of security, netting the kill onto Levo as the double door on Split is opened up as well. Does leave a couple questions. Kiz getting up close to the shotgun just to try and stave off a quick push in from the Montaigne.
Oh yeah, that looks great right now for WhiteTigerZ, since they do have the main lobby control, and the Monty here is pressuring the defense. He's giving out a lot of information, and as we've seen before, WhiteTigerZ is really great with this communication right here. So I'm sure he's communicating fully to the entire team what's happening right now in the meeting area. And Thermite is actually going to be putting the plan down, so a 4v4 plan down here. Shalom looks to be a bit confused by this situation. He's still an addict right now, and he's going to try and take this gunfight against the Monty, but the Monty's not even going to give him anything here. So 4v4 still, Shalom is going to take one. 35 seconds on the clock. Monty just going to be covering this plan this is a really difficult situation right now for 82. Monty's gonna go aggressive. He's gonna be able to get this kill. Oh, this is crazy! 3 kills on the scoreboard right now. 3v1, and I don't know. It looks like WhiteTigerZ is just gonna take this without any inconveniences.
Yeah, you got to channel your inner Anaton to make that one work, right? And you just drop shot, you take down the castle. Eddie stands no chance and does eventually find the kill onto the Montaigne, but with the time already gone, it's nothing but a consolidation prize for Robbie. A bit of a stat pad before he finally goes down. And look, WhiteTigerZ coming in, they needed the win here to set themselves up for a really strong final playday against Barney Trusted Dinosaurs for that final spot coming out of the group. So for them to get in, get the job done, and get out again, they'll be very happy with. Team 82, a team that was coming in as the weakest team in this group, a team that hasn't got as much experience playing together, and I think we saw some really good things from them, right, Leo? There were some good opportunities, rounds that they were in, they were really fighting strongly. It just showed that they don't quite have the foundation to the squad that their opponents had.
They knew what they were doing every single round, but it looks like the initiation for WhiteTigerZ, it just, you know, it just kept them on top. I mean, that last round is the perfect example.
Yeah, it really wasn't. Ultimately, WhiteTigerZ just being able to find ways into more rounds, and a little bit of lack of judgment in a couple positions, right? When you're losing that Montaigne, or when the breach is open, the Montaigne's walking in, the Thermite's there backed up to go for the plant behind the shield, there needs to be more movement on other parts of the map to wrap around this defense. And it still felt that, like, despite the fact there was a Monty standing there, they were trying to fight directly into it rather than going for the wraparound. And it's small things like this that are just going to allow rounds to slip away. But we have an interview ready with one of the members of our winning WhiteTigerZ squad, so we'll throw it over to reappearance.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, thank you to both Golo and Leo. Beautiful game. WhiteTigerZ very dominant victory. That initial 5-1 half ended up going really well for them. And we have an interview ready, and I think it's gonna be with KO.
Hi.
All right.
Thank you. Not really confident, but we just play our game. So yeah, it's the place that we have, and yeah, we won.
Against TT9, and that game was very close. So now coming in that first round, and you just see Robbie appearing in the middle of the site and kind of catching you guys off by surprise. You immediately turned around. Did you just recognize a very clear mistake that you guys had made to then just turn the match on its head?
Yeah, the mistake we did was we just troll. Uzi in the first round, Uzi is proning in small tower and just waiting for the opponent to come. Another one is playing dog, and was just a crap round. Yeah, so we just started to play our game and stopped trolling. Yeah, and we won. Yes.
You were definitely caught off a little bit in some of the early rounds with the pit going the way of Team 82, but it seemed like you guys had no problem with just grabbing that kill back and slowly putting the pressure on them instead. Was that them making mistakes, or was it just you guys just performing so well as a unit together?
I would say they did big mistakes. We're just playing as a team, and we saw the little pieces, they fell off, and we grabbed them and punished the mistakes they did. So in that case, I guess it was just the experience my guys have and the gun strength they have.
Wonderful. Well, you guys have one more game left in the group stage against Barney's Trusted Dinosaurs in a few days' time. They're tied with you guys on points now after your win. this game is the make or break, right? You win it, you're through. Are you guys feeling like you're going to be the second team from the group to go through? You guys feeling like you've got the win in the bag already? Or what's going through your mind now with the Barney Tractor Dinosaurs game ahead?
I mean, everything is possible. Barney Slay Soldiers, we know Sarok. It was a good mate of us, and he's a very talented player. They played well against TT9, 8-6, I guess, like us. And everything is possible. We hope we could take the win. I hope we didn't make the same mistakes we did the last 2 games. And everything is possible. It's Rainbow Six Siege. Every round stats at 0. So, yeah.
Wonderful. Well, Ko, is there anything you'd like to say? Just quick shout out, anyone who might be in the stream, or call out a challenge to your opponents?
Not really. Just say thank you to all the supporters. Hashtag WhiteTigerZ is Macht. It's living. We always like to make our fans proud. And the support is very great. And thank you to you all.
Thank you for being here today. Thank you for putting on a show for us. Oh.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, go for it, man.
When we just started the interview, you were talking about the playstyle, right? You said that's the playstyle we have and all that.
Yeah.
So you play really explosive, right? And you do like things unexpectedly sometimes. It looks like you guys just go for something. Where does this come from? Is this coming from like the IGL, or is it just like all of the 5 players in the team, just like how they play? Is it just the chemistry? Is it natural?
I guess the main reason is because we don't have a really IGL. Krigi is doing his best at this job, but Critical, P13, Levo, and Uzi are players with a lot of experience. And if one of them see any slightly chance to get easy through the defense, we just try to grab them, and yeah. That's why something really weird could happen and could be possible, bring us the win. So yeah.
Congratulations.
Great.
Well, have yourself a lovely evening, and we'll catch you in a couple days' time for your final game of groups. But maybe you'll be back after that in the later stages. Congratulations once again.
Thanks. Have a good evening.
You too, mate.
See ya.
Wonderful. Well, we're going to throw you back over to Reaper to talk a little bit about the end of that game before we get sort of primed for match number 2 of the day. But Reaper, take it away.
All right, I was a little robbed of my interview because we had some of the camera setups wrong, but it's all fine, it's all good. I got some of the information I wanted out of the questions that I had written down. What I quickly am gonna touch on before we throw to a break, before we get into game 2, is just I wanted to run through something that I noticed throughout this game. So I've been taking notes while the game was going on, and I noticed that in all but one round, really, the opening pick went to 82. 82 won the opening engagement pretty much every round. It was, I think, round 5 where they lost it, and in round 7 there was a direct 1-for-1 trade, but it was 82 every single time. And yet they lose by such a large margin. And that shows that they can get the opening pick. They have the mechanical skill to beat their opponents to the punch, WhiteTigerZ, but they don't have the ability to to close it out. They don't have the ability to maintain that man advantage and to run that into an execute. And that really showed in the game. Other than that, don't really have too many notes. We'll just go to a break, and then we'll see you guys back with Vega against IAS.